Good morning, Chevra. Today is the 20th of Nissan. Let's start with counting the Omer. Today is the fifth day. Hayom Chamisha Yamim Lo Omer. In today's lesson, which is on page 91 in your Chayenu, starts as follows. A person should train themselves to connect their personal divine service with the collective source of all souls, thus affecting a union above with the Shekhinah. Godliness also resulting in a sweetening of the severities. What does that mean? The Alter Rebbe is going to explain. The Alter Rebbe has stated earlier that the person's intention while performing Torah, learning Torah, and performing mitzvahs should be that his neshama, his soul, should cleave to God. He now goes on to say, Paul, can you wait before? Okay. He now goes on to say that a Jew's spiritual service also should include the goal of becoming one, not only with Hashem, but with the Jewish people. For this reason, his intention should not be limited to having his own soul cleave to Hashem, but also the source of his soul and the source of all souls of the Bnei Yisrael to cleave to Hashem together. Our sages have taught us a person shouldn't separate himself from the community. Therefore, a person should attend, unite, and attach to Hashem, the source of his divine soul, and in addition, he should connect his soul to the souls of all Israel. This source being the spirit of his mouth, called by the name Shekhinah, because it dwells, Shechenes, and clothes itself in all the worlds, animating them and giving them existence. So this is God, this is the part of Hashem that gives us the koyach, the power to exist, of all existence. Vihihi, hamashpa'as boy koyach hadibur hazeh, shemedaber b'divrei Torah, oy koyach hamaisa hazeh, la'asis mitzvazu. And this Shekhinah, this same Shekhinah that animates all the worlds, imbues the person with the power of speech, gives us all of our powers, including power of speech, his current words of Torah, or the power to perform a certain mitzvah. And one should thus intend to become united with the Ohr and Seif, the light of Hashem, through speaking words of Torah and performing mitzvahs, good deeds. For it is the Shekhinah which is the source of his power of speech and action, as well as the source of his divine soul and the source of the souls of all of Israel. And this union, this union of the source of the Jewish souls with Hashem is attained through drawing forth the light of Hashem here below. How? Through being involved in learning Torah, and learning Torah and doing mitzvahs, wherein the light of Hashem is clothed in them. Lahamshich oire yisparech hamakor nafshe v'nafshis kol Yisrael liyachdan. He should be intent on drawing his blessed light over the source of his soul and of the souls of all of Israel, so as to unite them with Hashem. This is this meaning of this union will be discussed at length. And this, then, is the meaning of the words that we recite before. We always say it before Baruch Sha'amar in the morning, but many people say this verse before they do any mitzvah. They say it for the sake of the union of Kudsha B'richu, the Holy One, with his Shekhinah in the name of all of Israel. That is to say, one's observance of the mitzvahs unite Kudsha B'richu, the source of Torah mitzvahs, with the Shekhinah, also the animating force of Hashem that gives life to everything, in the name of all the Jewish people, for the Shekhinah is the source of all the souls of them. By the way, what happens if, here's a question, what happens if, we're all what do we say, Shevas Acham Gam Yochad, right? We're all brothers, and we're all one unit, all the Bnei Yisrael, all our neshamas. So what happens if Erev Pesach, which started Wednesday night, Thursday, and Friday. So Wednesday afternoon, you had to do an Erev Tafshilin. What happens if you forget your Erev Tafshilin? So it's funny because if you look at the Lashon, it says that everyone who dwells in this city, You have to have in mind all Jewish people. When you're learning Torah and we're doing a mitzvah, you're not just having in mind Hashem, you're having in mind all the Jewish souls. So does that mean that you can rely on the other? I forgot to do the mitzvah of Erev Tafshilin. So now, can I cook on Friday for Shabbos? I can rely on everybody because they're having me in mind. We're all one unit. You're having all the souls of Israel in mind when you do a mitzvah. I'm not saying you could or you can't. I'm just proposing this concept that we're all responsible for one another. First of all, the Rav of the town has everybody in mind, and even your neighbors have you in mind because it says everybody who lives in this town. There's a possibility. Okay, without passing any particular halachas because there's complications involved, but you could technically rely on the Rav of the town. You can't make it a habit. It has to be something which is completely unintentional and not careless. But this is a very interesting thing. There's other things. Oh, I forgot to say Kiddush. I forgot to this. I forgot to... Okay, but everybody's having me in mind. I'm having you in mind. You're having me in mind. How far does it extend? But Bnei Yisrael, we really have to look out for one another. So that's why this is even a question. It's a good question, right, Benny?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's read quickly the footnote here. So one's observance of the mitzvahs unites. We said that already. The Alter Rebbe now notes that much more than the union of divine souls and Hashem is accomplished by the study of Torah and the performance of the mitzvahs. This is what we're telling you. But there's a lot more to this. These activities also bring the Hamata, what is this? Hamtakas Adinim, the tempered, the sweetening of the harsh judgment and the gvuris of their transformation into kindness and chesadim. As we said in the opening. The Haggah is the footnote here, V'gam ayidei zeh yismatku Gam Kain Hagvurais Bachsadim Imela Iskalalos Hamidus V'Yichodim. Thereby, through the performance of Torah mitzvahs, the Gvurais will, the stringencies, the decrees of themselves also will be sweetened by the Chasadim through the coalescence of the Midas and their union. By means of the revelation of Hashem's will, which is revealed on high through our efforts. How? Its revelation here below is in when we learn Torah and perform the mitzvahs, for they are Hashem's will. Thus, when a Jew reveals and draws down Hashem's will into this world as a result of his spiritual activities, Hashem's will also be revealed in the supernal spheres, resulting in the unification and coalescing of the midas so that the gvuros are sweetened by and transformed into kindness. Chasadim. Meshakaso be'idra rabba u'b'mishnah chasadim maseches arich anpin perik dalet. This is written in the rabba. Yeah. Hayag mitzvah Torah nimshachais b'chiyarta da'arich anpin b'chivarta. It's rubbed out here a little bit. That the 613 mitzvahs of the Torah are derived from the whiteness. The chsadim, white, represents purity and kindness of Arich Anpin, which is Hashem's will, the supernal will of Hashem, the source of the chasadim. Although this is stated in Kabbalistic terms, the intent is clear. Kindness and benevolence are drawn down into the world through the study of Torah and performance of mitzvahs. It's amazing. You think you're just going to be benefited by being rewarded, lusted, loving, olam haba, or you're bringing blessings down. But mamish, you're drawing down kindness and blessings into the entire world when you study Torah and when you do a mitzvah. So now we are constantly taught that one should be very wary of spiritual intentions which outstrip one's current spiritual pace. So don't get so carried away with the intentions. Spirituality must be earned in an environment of honesty. Not going to start, if I learn Torah, look what I can do, look what I can affect. So how then are we to expect that every Jew studying Torah and doing a mitzvah for the sake of uniting all Israel with Hashem, when he himself knows that he does not mean it wholeheartedly? I'm not such a, I'm embarrassed to admit what I'm really thinking, what I'm really doing. So for that, we'll have to come back tomorrow on Yontif, because tonight is Yontif, and we're going to learn more. But the takeaway is you're not a separate entity from all the people of Israel. We're one nation, one people, and when we do a mitzvah, we're drawing Hashem's energy not only upon ourselves, but upon the entire Jewish nation. Wow. Have a wonderful day, a good Moed, and a good Yantif. Tonight is Shvi Shal Pesach, and we'll see you on Yantif.